So we're going to continue and stay on our focus on this fire as we go now to SABC News reporter Mkhokheli, who's standing by in monitoring parts of the Western Cape. Mkhokheli, just share with us what's happening from your vantage point.
Good afternoon to you, Mfundo, and the viewers of the SABC. But unfortunately, certainly it's not a good afternoon for the residents and locals of Mossel Bay, where we are at right now. The fire has indeed wreaked havoc in this area, where now people are starting with their mop-up operations, trying to get things together as some houses were destroyed by this fire that started late in the evening on Tuesday. Earlier on today, we spoke to the MEC of Environmental Affairs in the province of the Western Cape, where he told us that relatively things are now beginning to be under control, but although there are some places that they're expecting flare-ups, but they have promised the residents of Mossel Bay that the firefighting teams are going to be on standby for any flare-up that might arise. But for now, we are at a complex where we can clearly see that in our backgrounds they have lost quite a lot, and a few houses in this complex were destroyed by this fire that started on Tuesday. To talk more on that and get the details of how everything started, we do have one of the residents that stay here. Meneer, can you please tell us as to how this fire started and when and where were you when everything started?
Well, we're not exactly sure as to how the fire started, but we do know that it began approaching from Wildfires, which is behind us here. And at first we didn't know that the fire was at that point already out of control. We saw the plume of smoke, and next minute we saw the flames come over the top of the hill, and already at that stage it was too late. And there was nothing that the firefighting force could do. It was completely out of control, and it was literally just a matter of several minutes before we actually were told to evacuate. And it was chaos. We were all under a lot of shock.
Clearly, it's evident that it was indeed chaos, because I can see that a number of houses are actually burnt down and destroyed by this fire. If you maybe know the extent of the damage that has been caused by this fire in this complex.
Okay. Well, I want to start by saying we were very lucky. It could have been very, very, very much worse. But we lost 10 houses, all of which have thatch roofs. And I think, thatch roof, if it's not thoroughly wet and it catches enough embers, it ignites quite easily. So I think that was the main cause. The houses that were actually in the path of the flames, that didn't have thatched roofs, actually survived, relatively untouched. As you can see, some of the neighbouring houses to the ones that were actually burnt down also suffered from some damage, but we were very lucky overall.
Also, if you can give us a picture of how the fire started. I see you say that the fire came over that valley, that other side. How did it travel, and how did the fire get straight into the houses, and where were you at that particular time?
Well, at some point we all had to evacuate. A lot of people actually remained behind, but I think a lot of the vulnerable people had to evacuate. So, I think, with a fire like this, it moves so quickly that it actually moves quicker than one can run. It's faster than sprinting speed. So all we know is it just came over that, and it just burned down, and we just saw this plume of smoke come down. And my house is right over there on one of the furthest areas away from this. And it took a while before the smoke actually reached my house. But the smoke was so thick and the heat was so intense that it was just impossible. People literally, a lot of these people escaped with their lives just in time. They could actually have been engulfed in the flames.
And those that have lost their houses, what happened to them? Are they displaced? Where are they now?
Well, they've been taken in by friends and family. So for now, they're safe, they're sorted, but nevertheless, and they were insured. So I think that they're going to be able to claim from insurance. But the municipality and the emergency services have actually stepped in, along with so many different groups of people from Mossel Bay, to help out and to provide clothing and food and furniture and containers and all that kind of thing. So it's been absolutely fantastic.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, well, there you have it, Mfundo. It's definitely a devastating situation. Indeed, it's not a very good way to start a new year of 2026. So that's how the situation is at this particular point in time. I did mention earlier on that we did speak to the MEC of Environment, and he did tell us that they relatively got the situation under control. But we will be camping around and going to other affected areas here in Mossel Bay and give you the latest updates.